Apart from the obvious qualities such as technique and physical fitness, what really matters in competition? Watch this video to find out about my opinion. After quite some time, I went to a future tournament again. In the same week, there's also a now established ATP 500 event in Vienna. I prefer a quieter atmosphere, so ball in Croatia was the right place for me this week. Together with Slava we traveled to this tournament, which was still being held outdoors on clay. The conditions in the first few days were perfect, with sunshine, pleasant temperatures and no wind. The court was also in a very good condition on the first day, but this was to change as the pros played on it more and more. The hotel is located right next to the tennis club, and now that the summer season is over, the small coastal town is slowly sinking back into hibernation. Therefore, apart from the tournament, it was very peaceful. Unfortunately, the local weather forecast predicted rainy days and wind for the rest of the week, so we were prepared for some changes. Being prepared for change is not only important when it comes to the weather, players should also be ready for it on the court. For me, working with Slava during preparation and here at the tournament had one main focus. And this focus had little to do with strokes or physical challenges. My aim was for him to work on his mindset and address certain patterns that are repeatedly apparent. The quality of his shots in training during certain exercises is very impressive, and his physical presence on the court is correspondingly good. He is very fast and anticipates very well, so that in practice it can seem impossible to hit a winner against him. His relaxed attitude and positive playfulness ensure good quality shots and a very dynamic footwork. However, when it comes to critical situations in practice and, of course, in competition, this picture changes. In competition, you cannot expect this relaxed attitude to remain without problems. But in practice, the goal should be to maintain this positive, relaxed attitude even in competitive situations. For me, Slava places too much importance on losing, even in practice. The focus then becomes too much on whether something is good or bad. I try to convey to him that in these situations it is more important to think about whether something is right or wrong. A ball can land out of court and still be completely correct. The ball was played with the right idea, the right execution, and an almost perfect implementation. And it lands just outside the line. The result in a training match is, of course, that the point is lost. But that doesn't change the fact that everything was done right. In the end, it's just a question of how you evaluate it for yourself. And I think that if you evaluate it in a healthy way, it doesn't allow negative thoughts and emotions to arise too quickly and easily. And it becomes much easier to remain courageous, relaxed, and joyful. And in my opinion, these qualities are very beneficial for competition. Sebastian was still in Italy. Due to rain and the poor quality of the courts, there were many delays and Sebastian had to postpone his second round for 2 days. Unfortunately, Cadenasso was once again too strong for Sebastian. This marks the end of his Italian adventure and the transition to hard court will be completed. So, how did it work out for Slava in the competition? As expected, there were ups and downs, although the results in the first 2 rounds were relatively straightforward, meaning that there were hardly any close situations. The quarterfinal went to 3 sets, with Slava ultimately emerging victorious. It was a match with some emotional highs and lows, and there's certainly still work to be done in this area. But he has the willingness, and patience is required. I will report on the further outcome of the tournament. Thank you for your interest, and see you in the next video.